a special forum. The Advisory Neighborhood Commission special forum is a duly constituted, duly noticed meeting of the entire commission. We are short of a quorum right now. We will have a quorum by the time this is over. It is a meeting where motions and resolutions can be brought up, but they must be restricted only to the topic of the forum.
Well, hello everybody. It's very impressive that so many people have come out on this wintry night for this session tonight, and I congratulate all of you for your interest, because this is a very important meeting. This meeting, and hopefully the action by the Advisory Neighborhood Commission, which will be part of this meeting, will in significant part determine the fate of this abatement and the legislation that is its vehicle. I tell you, the most frequent thing that I hear as your council member, as I go throughout this ward, is, council member, can you get me a job? And so the promise of jobs here, 500 jobs all told, is a very compelling thing in this particular economy. So these are the reasons that I introduced the legislation for the relief. And I was hoping that we'd have something here from the Marriott Corporation. I guess we don't have it. We don't have it tonight, and I wanted tonight something from Marriott saying, talking to the issue of the urgency of this, because that's why we're all here on December the 16th. I mean, I think we'd all rather be somewhere else, but we have the sense that we have to do something about this, or Marriott's going to take a walk. I was hoping we'd have this in writing.
From the supporting side, William Simpson.
I do have two significant concerns in that regard. One is that the size of the tax abatement seems to be very significant relative to the size of the overall project. The latest figure I saw on the size of the overall project suggested it might be in the range of 120 million or something to that effect. So we're talking about a third of the cost of the building that ultimately gets refunded to the developer in the form of their tax abatement, and that seems large to me. I don't have a great sense of what is typical, but that seems large.
You know, there have been various numbers suggested by the chief financial officer in terms of what was required in order to have this development work. You know, I think that, you know, we've been guided by those numbers throughout this discussion. Could we discuss lowering it? Could we discuss that type of approach? I think we probably could. But I think it's about right in terms of what we're advised, what it will take to build this hotel, the way it's envisioned.
Thank you. Can you elaborate on that, Brian? Just, you know, why a small business, you know, is expected to survive on a shoestring and with no relief from the city, and why the numbers, you have to need all this for the numbers to work, the variance plus the tax relief, tax abatement.
That's fine. It's just a matter of financing. That's the reality. This project is completely unfinanceable without a subsidy. This project's completely unfinanceable without a subsidy.
Because you're $100 million in debt to build it?
Because to financially build a project, you need to be showing some sort of return on cost at a certain amount, and that's impossible because the cost to preserve the church and to create the construction the way we want to do it in a green and LEED certified way, and digging a hole for putting parking, these things all have costs, and there's a lot of jobs and people to pay. Breakdown of jobs, great question. There's 565 jobs out of the hotel, and there's first source hiring, and there's unions. So on an hourly basis, these wages are much higher than you're going to see from a traditional restaurant. And I'm happy to provide you with a breakdown. But I don't think there's anybody on there with below, I think, $12 an hour.
You should mention local hotel and restaurant workers, union, local 25. These are going to be union jobs. It's going to be a union hotel. And you know, that's in the final stages of negotiation, I'm told.
You speak up.
It's going to be a union hotel. The local 25 is negotiating the final agreement on that in terms of being part of this process.
I mean, part of this is information to help guide us, and we're getting a lot of it tonight. I just heard tonight, for example, the Union Hotel is in discussion it's in a discussion that this is gonna be a union hotel.
Well, it's in the final stages of discussion.
Final, who knows? I mean, who knows where that goes?
Well,
I mean, what do we get? The question is, what do we get for $46 million? I'm hearing